I toured the college football equivalent of the Avengers training complex, and I want to show you guys what it's like. First though, I had to check out the game, University of Georgia versus Tennessee. I did come to see, of course, the star of the show, Ugga. Isn't he a good boy? But I did also stick around to see my team, the Georgia Bulldogs, kick some butt. Another cool thing about this game outside of Georgia winning was that it was the first time they used fireworks at the stadium and it was a blackout. So after we got the dub, I went ahead the next day and toured the facility. Now, I'm not even going to get into how this building is called the Butts Mayor Building, but it is where they have all of the trophies. But these are just replicas.
Odin's treasures.
Fake.
To find the real ones, we got to go downstairs. I'm not gonna lie, this elevator was very nostalgic for me because my dad used to work at this building and I used to go down this elevator all the time as a kid. It has changed a lot though, and I'm gonna show you a few of the changes. Starting off, this used to be the player meeting room and now it's just a media room. If you ever see Kirby Smart or any of the players doing interviews, that's where they do them.
I am Iron Man.
Over here you have all the pictures of the national championship teams that Georgia's had throughout the years, 4-time national champions, as well as plaques commemorating all the college football playoff appearances. The athletic training room here brought back some memories as a former UGA athlete myself, but let's skip over all that trauma of recovering from surgeries to instead focus on this really cool wall. This has the name of all the different players who have played in a Super Bowl. Georgia currently has the longest standing streak of players that played in a Super Bowl. And if your name's in red, that means you were the MVP. And with the most recent Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl win, you can absolutely add another plaque up there. Speaking of championships, here are the real trophies from Georgia's bowl game wins, playoff wins, and of course, national championships. Which, guys, I gotta tell you, I went my entire life not seeing Georgia win a national championship, and seeing them win 2 back-to-back, it made my life. So it was really cool seeing these trophies up close. Just to think about the amount of time, effort, energy, and practice it takes to get one of these, it's really cool to be able to see them in person. And in case you're wondering, no, those oranges are not real. Speaking of food though, there is a fully stocked kitchen and restaurant called Bones. Now this is exclusively just for the football athletes and it can make them pretty much whatever they want. It also teaches them how to cook. In case you ever want to learn how to make your favorite meal, they will show you how to make it ingredient by ingredient, so that way you can replicate it down the road, so that way you're set up for success in life and not just while you're here at the facility. I don't even think the Avengers had a personal chef at their facility, unless maybe you count Vision.
Pinch of paprika.
Anyways, I was almost tempted just to move into this place at this point because personal chefs, rehab facilities, hot and cold tubs, I was already sold. Where do I sign up to sign a lease? Unfortunately, they weren't taking any 31-year-old washed up athletes at the time, so maybe next time. If they did though, I'd certainly be spending a lot of time here. This is the sports medicine facility. I couldn't record much of it because it was currently being used by a lot of the players, but they have hyperbaric chambers, they have these different little sleep pods and massage chairs and state-of-the-art equipment for all of your sports medicine needs. The next stop was upstairs at the big man's office himself, Kirby Smart, the current head coach for the University of Georgia and back-to-back national champion. This is the only spot where you can see Georgia's 2 Heisman trophies, and also the only spot in this video where you can see the weightlifting facility because it was also currently being used by players, but trust me, it's awesome. After their workouts, they have personalized labeled smoothies with their own specific caloric dietary needs after their workouts that are specifically made for their goals and positions.
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
As well as all these different snacks. I'm so jealous. I wish I had this after my workouts. Nutrition is probably just one of the reasons they continually put so many players into the NFL, as you can see by all the different really cool transparent LED screens showing off all the different teams they currently play for. Passing by the equipment room over here, you'll also find all of the cool gear they can get whenever they actually sign on to being a Georgia football player. When I was a cheerleader for Georgia, we used to call this Nike Christmas. We'd be given basically massive trash bags full of hundreds of dollars of Nike gear, and it was awesome. Walking up this staircase of wins where they put a sign up over here for every single win they get during the season, I found this really cool room with a cool G hanging sculpture. Like, look at how cool this thing expands. That's awesome. I teased this earlier, but here is the actual meeting room for the entire team. You'll find all of their conference championships up here on the wall, and the national championships are on the wall above me. You just can't quite see them. The chairs were specifically designed by Kirby Smart to make it so it's harder to fall asleep in them, to keep players awake during meetings. A level of attention to detail that rivals even Tony Stark himself.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
But it's not all work here at the facility. There's also a really cool section that has pool tables and arcade games. There's even a golf simulator, like a driving range that you can also play with. Honestly, I'd spend a lot of time here if I had the energy to, but I think that I'd be worn out after practicing on this massive indoor facility. And if it wasn't intimidating enough, just know that the name of this indoor practice field is called the House of Pain. Pain. Okay, now it's P-A-Y-N-E because it's named after a guy and not the actual feeling of pain, but still very cool. Now they have a specific name for this wall, but I call it the Wall of Freaks because that's what you gotta be. You basically gotta be an X-Man to be able to get on this wall. You gotta be able to run so fast, like Jordan Davis there, running like 20 miles an hour, being 300 pounds is insane. Basically, these guys are like Captain America flying around the field. And when you're that good, you get recognized for it. Here we have a wall of trophies honoring individual accolades of individual players. So people like Ladd McConkey, currently playing for the Chargers, Stetson Bennett, Brock Bowers for the Raiders. You're going to find all these different trophies here from all these incredible players. And this is all meant to recognize their really cool achievements. Anyways, that is just a small taste of the awesome tour that I got to see here at the University of Georgia Bulldogs Football Athletic Facility. Thank you, UGA, for having me back, and thank you all for watching.